Evander Holyfield has just revealed a shocking take after a recent sparring session with Mike Tyson, calling Tyson the toughest rival he's ever faced, even haunted to this day by the infamous ear-biting incident from 1997. For Holyfield, a boxing legend in his own right, to recognize Tyson's raw, unrelenting power after all these years says it all. The two have a rivalry that remains iconic, etched in the annals of boxing history, and now Holyfield is breaking his silence on just...
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but you know he's gonna be a lot quicker if he stay close to Mike. If he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he try to stay back from Mike.
Just how dangerous Tyson still is. With Jake Paul set to face Tyson, boxing veterans have already predicted that Paul might get chewed up in the ring. But our social media sensation remains stubborn, convinced he can handle the power of a legend. Perhaps Holyfield himself is a bit worried for Jake, though it's hard to feel too sympathetic for someone who seems to
Nice one. That was the best we've seen him yet.
be asking for a serious lesson. Holyfield and Tyson, two absolute juggernauts, are back in action, sparring with the same fire and intensity that once defined their prime. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, with his manufactured beefs and flashy fights, seems like the embodiment of everything frustrating about modern combat sports. Here's hoping he'll realize the real cost of stepping into the ring with a true warrior like Tyson. Let's be real, Jake Paul may have fought a few opponents, but that doesn't make him a true boxer, and Mike Tyson is about to hand him the ultimate reality check. The sheer absurdity of Jake thinking he can hold his own with Tyson is almost laughable. Tyson's career was built on pure annihilation: 50 wins, 44 by knockout. These weren't just knockouts, they were the kind that left opponents lying on the mat, questioning their life choices. Sure, Tyson's 58 now, but he doesn't age like the rest of us. His recent training videos show that the beast inside him is alive, and well, his punches still look capable of cracking walls, and his footwork is a far cry from the slow shuffle you'd expect from most men his age. Jake Paul might think he's a boxer, but Tyson is a force of nature, and the idea that Jake believes he can keep up is the joke of the century. Then there's Holyfield, who at 62 is still a powerhouse strong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the one.
Stronger and fitter than Jake could ever hope to be, even on his best day. Holyfield isn't some relic, he's a legend with iron will and battle-tested experience that Jake couldn't buy, even if he sold every NFT in his collection. Holyfield was the undisputed champion in both heavyweight and cruiserweight divisions. Holyfield isn't some viral sensation banking on controversy, he's a true champ. Watching him spar with Tyson was like witnessing two titans unleash a ferocity that would make most active boxers question their career choices. Compare that to Jake Paul, who's built his fame on exploiting boxing for clout. The sparring sessions between Tyson and Holyfield were on another level. Tyson still moves with the speed and power you'd expect from a man half his age, and that famous peekaboo style is as menacing as ever. Holyfield's stamina is unreal. Jake wouldn't even last long enough to make a highlight reel moment. When Joe Rogan, who's seen it all in combat sports, says Tyson's power is still terrifying, you know it's serious. Lennox Lewis, another all-time great, is practically counting down the days, likely hoping Tyson will deliver a poetic lesson to Jake Paul. Jake may be confident, and maybe his fan base believes it too, but everyone else knows he's in for a brutal reality check. Jake Paul is in over his head, no doubt about it.
I just want everybody to know, the fight is on with me and Holyfield a humble man, I know that, and he's a man of God, but I'm God's man. And I'm going to be successful May 29th.
Tyson's training is no half-hearted comeback. His coach, Rafael Cordero, has him hitting the pads like it's life or death. Tyson's defense drills, counter-punching routines, and brutal conditioning are proof he's not just staying fit, he's gearing up for war. Jake should be cancelling his plans and practicing how to stand up after a knockout because Tyson means business. Despite Tyson's age, some fans worry about his health, pointing to Muhammad Ali's later fights as a cautionary tale. But Tyson isn't fazed by the 31-year age gap between him and Jake. Boxing icons like Oscar de la Hoya and Dana White
Nice left hook! Up.
Was good for today.
Yeah.
I took it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yes. You fucking sure?
Yeah.
You sure? Yeah. Fuck with me, it's all right?
Let's do this. You did great.
Have sounded more anxious for Jake than anyone else. De La Hoya practically said Tyson would crush Jake without breaking a sweat, and he's probably right. This isn't just another exhibition fight, it's Tyson showing the world that he's still as fierce as ever, ready to remind Jake what true power looks like. For Mike Tyson, stepping into the ring is more than a way to have fun or make money, it's a personal battle. In a raw, emotional interview with Andre Ward, Tyson opened up about how the Iron Mike persona never truly leaves him. Every fight preparation pulls him back to that intense mindset, driven by the ghosts of his past. For Tyson, this match isn't just another bout, it's a chance to face his demons and prove he's still one of the most dangerous men to ever lace up gloves. Jake Paul can't even begin to grasp what that feels like. While Tyson unleashes years of pent-up fury, Jake will likely be wondering why his Instagram followers can't save him from the knockout that's headed his way. Meanwhile, Holyfield and Tyson, once fierce rivals who shared some of the most brutal moments in boxing history, are now training together. These two legends, who tore each other apart in the ring decades ago, are now sparring, exchanging tips, and shaking their heads at what boxing has become, thanks in large part to Jake Paul, that YouTube star who thinks he can...
Can you tell me sorry, please?
Sorry.
Mike, like you mean it.
Sorry.
I felt that. Come on, Evander, what do you say?
No.
and trade punches with real warriors, has made a career out of pranks and flexing his wealth. And yet, here we are, watching him step into the ring with a man who, in his prime, could probably knock out a grizzly bear. Jake's acting like it's just a game, but he's in for a harsh reality check against someone as battle-hardened as Tyson. Holyfield's legacy is untouchable, a level Jake Paul's Instagram clout will never reach. But here's the real kicker: Holyfield recently dropped a bombshell that should make Jake reconsider everything. He said Tyson still has...
People were out there saying, we think Mike's too old for this fight. Tell him what you think about that.
If you think I'm too old for this fight, you need to come tell me in my face.
Whoa.
That terrifying power, and their sparring sessions were no walk in the park. Holyfield even offered Jake some advice to survive. Jake would have to stay close and smother Tyson. Why? Because giving Tyson space means one punch could turn Jake into an eternal meme. But let's be honest, Jake lacks the skill and discipline to follow that strategy. Holyfield practically wrote Jake's obituary by confirming Tyson's power hasn't faded. Jake may think a few viral call-outs and overhyped sparring videos have prepared him, but this is Tyson we're talking about. Meanwhile, Holyfield, who's no stranger to the risks of boxing, especially at their age, speaks with the authority of someone who's truly faced Tyson's wrath. Jake may not realize the reality he's about to step into. Holyfield openly admitted his own doubts after that rough TKO loss to Vitor Belfort. It shook him, and he understands the high stakes of stepping back into the ring at his age. But Tyson? That's a different story. Holyfield has made it clear that Tyson is still an absolute beast, and that fact alone should terrify Jake Paul. Yet Jake somehow is still pretending he's in on the joke when he's actually the punchline. Jake's whole act pretending to be a real boxer is about to come crashing down. The trash talk, the stunts, the overhyped build-up, it's all a facade. He's built a career on creating drama and fooling people into thinking he's more than he is. But this time, the stakes are real, and Tyson won't be playing along or part of Jake's circus. The only performance here will be Jake's brutal crash course in what actual fighting looks like. So good luck, Jake. Maybe spend less time planning your next viral moment and more time figuring out how you'll explain to your fans why Iron Mike sent you home concussed. You're not ready, not even close.